Before Reality Changers, I had a 0.375 GPA, nearly straight Fs. I was on the verge of going to jail, getting in all kinds of trouble.
When I began to see my grades dropping at school dramatically, and like it broke my heart when I had a 1.5 GPA.
I was living in a one-bedroom apartment surrounded by walls of graffiti, gang violence, and prostitution.
I just failed a lot of my classes and I wasn't involved in school.
I was in the risk of being tied up to the bad influence of my community where I live, and there's a lot of gang members and things like that I could have been influenced by.
Before Reality Changers, I never thought about going to college or even community college. My dad never really believed in me, and my mom was worried about financial aid.
My parents were always there for emotional support, but when it came to finding educational opportunities, I had to go out there and search for them myself, and sometimes that was a bit hard because I had to learn how to be independent from a young age.
Before Reality Changers, I was headed down the wrong path, hanging out with the wrong friends, doing the wrong things that I know I shouldn't have done.
Well, before Reality Changers, I was lost. I wouldn't have known how to apply to colleges, how to have gone anywhere, what I needed to do to go to college.
My parents always told me to do good at school and to get good grades, but I mean, I never knew what college was. I wasn't aware of what anything was, and I just showed up to class because my parents dropped me off, and I was there.
Ever since 9th grade, I set a goal for myself, and that was to attend a four-year university. I didn't know how I was going to do it.
Knowing that both my brothers were in gangs, I realized that they weren't pursuing to go to college. I was completely lost, and I didn't know what was going to be next after high school.
The toughest part of my life was having an aggressive tumor during my freshman and sophomore year.
The most difficult part of my life was growing up in the foster care system. My mom was an alcoholic and my dad wasn't there for me.
The two hardest parts were when my brother died when I was 10, and the second time this year in January when my father passed away. Both of them were really close to me. They were both my father figures when I was younger and now when I was older.
The toughest part of my childhood was when my dad passed away. I was 3 years old and I came to the United States, and it was really hard for me to learn English.
My toughest part about my childhood was knowing that I was surrounded by gangs and hard choices.
The toughest part of my childhood was being raised in a neighborhood full of gangs, violence. I had to find a way out of it.
All my siblings, they never chose to take that chance to go to college, and I wanted to be that, my parents' last chance. I wanted to be that lucky number 7. I'm the 7th one in my family, so I wanted to be that person to go to college and achieve whatever, what my parents wanted.
The toughest part of my childhood was when I found out my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and that was the first time I was faced with a real situation that I believed I couldn't handle.
Before Reality Changers, college was more of a dream and a goal for me.
Before Reality Changers, I was in a self-imposed prison.
Before Reality Changers, all I knew about college was that my father was a maintenance worker at a local university. But now, after joining Reality Changers, I too will be working at a university, but instead of landscaping, I'll be working in a library.
But now, after being in Reality Changers, I found the freedom only college could provide.
But now, after Reality Changers, college is my reality, and it can be for you too.
I turned into a stronger person. I learned how to do everything around the house. I had to take over my mother's chores. I even learned how to do taxes.
By coming to Reality Changers, I've been given so many opportunities. I've been able to go to Hawaii. I've been able to go to UCSD for academic connections. I went to Forest Home. I met so many lifelong friends.
I had no direction, but after Reality Changers, I've gotten a bunch of motivation, encouragement, good mentors, and now it's safe to say that I have, a very strong direction in my life. And now I'm headed to becoming a future CSUN Matador.
After Reality Changers, I'm going to go to the University of my dreams, UC Berkeley, on a full ride with a Gates Millennium Scholarship.
But now, thanks to RC, I have realized that I can take on anything in the world, and I pretty much can succeed everywhere I go.
when I was introduced to Reality Changers, that really helped me to stay on track, you know, really set my goals and go to college. And now I'm going to Seattle.
And now after Reality Changers, I'll be going to the East Coast for university in Pennsylvania.
But after Reality Changers, I am going to Cal State San Marcos. I'm looking for a college degree, and I'm trying to do everything I can to return everything my mom has done for me.
After being in Reality Changers program, I feel like I could take on any challenge, and I feel more confident in asking more questions.
After Reality Changers, I am soon to be a first-generation college student headed to San Jose State.
But now after Reality Changers, I'm going to college. I found my way to college. I'm going all the way to New York, to Syracuse University.
But after Reality Changers, I look forward to college and realizing my dreams.
The college application process for me was long, it was difficult, and at times confusing, but I can say that at the end it was really worth it.
Sometimes I had nightmares about getting rejected from every college, but Reality Changers helped me with all that.
The college application process was very stressful and filled with many emotions. When I was at RC, getting helped with my college essays and getting them revised over and over again was very overwhelming. There was a time where I wanted to give up, but as I was walking down the hallway at RC and seeing all the past alumni wearing their college sweaters proud, it re-inspired me to keep pushing forward and to not give up.
Because believe it or not, once you get that sweater, you get that acceptance letter, all of the tears, the stress, it all just disappears. It's like eradicated and you're just full of joy, and I mean, I couldn't be any happier.
With the help of Reality Changers, the tutors, the sponsors, the mentors, and the support of my family, I will be attending Oregon State University in the fall.
Definitely had some hard times where I occasionally cried or sweat from my eyeballs. After being introduced to Reality Changers, I switched my life over. I brought my grades up to a straight 4.0. I got out of all those influences, and now I'm going to a 4-year university with thousands of dollars in scholarships.
Don't take for granted like any opportunity, even if it's like in school or like with family, because I didn't know I wasn't gonna have my dad to see me graduate, and now I really know how important that is. But hopefully, when I'm walking up to go get my diploma, even though my brother and my dad aren't gonna be with my siblings or my family, I know they'll be standing next to me. I just want to tell all of you to take advantage of what you have, take advantage of every opportunity. Like, tell the people you love them, because you might not know when you have another chance to do so. Try hard at school. Like, I'm taking 10 IB tests and AP tests, and it's hard, but it's worth it.